Good morning, Ramley and other NFL family, especially Kansas City Chiefs family. We are here in another episode of MOOF, where we are looking for the most overly optimistic fan base in the NFL. We are interviewing one fan from every NFL team to see where the optimism, is in their fan base. Because if you can't be optimistic about your team this time of year, when everyone is 0-0, when can you be? We have a great guest, my good friend Isaac. He's a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan, and he is going to be talking with us today about why Chiefs fans are optimistic after a bit of a heartbreaking loss in the AFC Championship game. But they know they still have Patrick Mahomes. They know they still have Andy Reid. They don't have Tyreek Hill anymore, and I'm sure we're going to talk all about that. Please join me in welcoming him right after this. Isaac, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, definitely. And we are going to talk all about the Chiefs today. Really excited to go into that. But we always like to start the show off. And anyone who's watching live with me now, thanks for tuning in. And if you're watching on the replay, thank you for watching. Everyone hit that like button and really helps us continue the series as we're almost through all 32 teams, which is crazy. But Isaac, how did you become a Chiefs fan, and who are some of your favorite Chiefs players in Chiefs history?
This is interesting because when I became a Chiefs fan, I'd already been a football fan for a while. I was big into like Madden and everything like that. And a guy I always loved, that Jamal Charles, was the guy who really made me a Chiefs fan back in the day. He was super exciting to watch, and
Great player.
I really liked the jerseys. You know, they had a good defense. They had Tom Bahali, they had Derek Johnson, they had Justin Houston, big Eric Berry guy as well.
Yeah.
So honestly, I gotta say, like, if it comes down to one guy, it's Jamal Charles who made me a Chiefs fan.
That's odd. Oh man, haven't heard that name in a while, but yeah, he was a beast. Oh, what a great player. And yeah, even Eric Berry, like his amazing story. Yeah, I love it. Gotta give a couple of shout outs. Hayden, good to see you. CG Ruthless, he's saying Tony Gonzalez was his favorite. Yeah. Awesome. Well, and then in regards to the Chiefs offseason, I know, like, how do you feel about the Tyreek Hill trade? And do you feel that they did enough to replace his production?
You know, it's interesting. Like Tyreek Hill, obviously, one for one, we can't replace him. He's really one of a kind when it comes to a player. He fit in really perfectly with the play style of Patrick Mahomes. Like, he was amazing. Do I think we replaced him? No, because like it's not one for one. However, like, we have a much different look in the offense than we have in past years, in the way that, like, we were really top heavy before with like Travis Kelce and Tyreek. They would get their touches like nobody else on the team. I think this year we're not as top heavy. Like, obviously we still have Trav, but we're looking deeper this year, in my opinion, than we have in like the entire Patrick Mahomes era. Like, we picked up Juju, who hopefully can like find his groove once again. Mm-hmm. Marcus Valdes-Scantling, he was really solid with A-Rod, and like, you know, he brings a good deep threat. McCole Hardman, you know, maybe he can really break out this year. Like, he's been solid, but maybe he can take that next step. And then you look in the draft, like, we got a lot of draft picks from the Tyreek. That's the guy I was just about to mention right there, Skye Moore. Really excited for him. He actually, in camp, he's been running sort of a Debo-esque role. Like, he's been running out of the backfield as well as like running out wide. So like, he's someone I think can like is really could be underrated coming into this season, because we do have other talent, but I could see him really fitting in well with like Patrick Mahomes. If he's gonna fit in with anyone, it's gonna be with Pat, right? So
yeah. Okay, well, awesome. Let's get into the predictions here, and if you're watching live with us, feel free to predict alongside us in the chat. Put a W if you think the Chiefs are going to win. Put an L if you think they're going to lose. And everyone who watches the show knows I hate ties, but you can still predict it. Pop a T in the chat if you think they're going to tie. It seems like every episode now we have someone that predicts at least one tie. So, but let's start off. So the Ramley is going to be cheering you on, and then you are starting the season week 1, traveling to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. This could be a fun week 1 game. Looking forward to seeing this as a football fan. Thoughts on this game and win or loss prediction?
Yeah, they're a pretty good football team. They have a lot of good offensive weapons like Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, James Conner, Rondale Moore. I do think they still have gaps in their defense. I don't think it's as strong as it really could be. I think it's definitely going to be a tough game for week 1. But week 1, I think is especially strong for a team like the Chiefs, just based off of Andy Reid has all these new game plans. He's obviously really tricky to play against, just because he's such a smart offensive mind.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be a little too much for the Cardinals in week 1. I think we're taking the W.
And the reality is they're not going to have Hopkins that game, and potentially they won't have Hollywood Brown either. So
yeah, that's right.
Well, there's some big losses there for the Cardinals. But okay, predicting a win to start. All right. And everyone in the chat, thank you for your questions. I have starred them, and at the end of predictions, we'll go through a couple of questions. But thank you for the questions. But we want to keep the predictions moving. Hayden is predicting a win. He agrees with you there. So then you got a short week here. Your first divisional matchup of the year and first primetime game. It's the first ever only streaming NFL game ever. So there's your trivia knowledge for the day. It is the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Los Angeles Chargers on Thursday Night Football. This should be a good one. Win or lose, thoughts on this game?
This is a really tough game. The entire AFC West has the ability to win the entire time. They're all such good teams that drastically improved for the offseason. These guys picked up Khalil Mack. They're definitely dangerous. That D-line with Bosa and Khalil Mack is definitely going to be a problem. You got Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, Mike Williams. They're a very talented team, definitely. It's obviously going to be a game that I believe is down to the wire, but I still think we edge out this game.
Okay. This is 2-0 to start this season. Hayden's agreeing with you again, predicting a W there.
All right.
And we got to give a shout out to Jake, our resident Bills fan today. And he does not like the Chiefs, but he respects the Chiefs. Still salty over that loss.
Yeah, I would be too.
Yeah. So then week 3, you're traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Any concerns about losing this game? What are your thoughts?
I think the Colts are a really interesting team this year. Bringing in Matt Ryan is it's a really interesting play because you could turn out to be a genius if you're the GM, or he could completely blow up in your face because he has had really good seasons. He won an MVP. I'm interested to see how he plays. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor, possibly the best running back in the league. I think the offense still is not completely complete. I also think the Chiefs' run defense is going to be quite good this year. Okay. We got picked up George Karlaftis in the draft at defensive end. We also got Carlos Dunlap, and then Chris Jones hogging up the middle. I predict we are going to have a good defensive front. I think there's going to be a mismatch in that way. I think our offense is going to be too much for their defense. So I think it's a Chiefs win.
Okay, so 3-0 to start the season. Chiefs fans, no doubt, will be going, over the moon, ecstatic about it. We got a couple. Everyone's agreeing with you here. No one's predicted an L yet in the chat. So 3-0, and then You're traveling to Tampa for a Sunday night prime time game on NBC, taking on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Thoughts on this game, win or lose?
Like, as a true Chiefs fan, man, I can't stand Tom Brady right now. Yeah. But he's somehow still good at football. And the problem is that entire team is really good at football. They're a super complete team. Like, they're really good on both sides of the ball. It's a game we definitely love to win, as like they're the guys we lost to in the Super Bowl. But like it is hard to like play perfect football like week in and week out. This is a game at Tampa. It could have an effect, and I think we're gonna lose this one.
Okay, the first L of the year there, and no, I still think it'll be a good game. So I'm looking forward to that. But Hayden's agreeing, he or disagreeing. He thinks it's gonna be a W. And Jake is, this is his emotional thing. He was never in your division for
It's true. Yeah.
So 3-1 on your prediction, and then you go from a Sunday night primetime game to the very next week a Monday night primetime game you're hosting the Las Vegas Raiders.
We are.
Monday Night Football. Raiders getting a lot of hype this offseason. Win or lose, thoughts on this game?
As I said, every AFC West team is good this year. Plus, they got Devontae Adams and Chandler Jones, like two very good pieces to help them out. Division games are always competitive. Like, you just have such a feel, like such a familiarity with all the other teams. Their weak spot still probably is the secondary. Like, I think that's a problem when you're playing against Pat. Mahomes is definitely going to come to play. Like, it's a Monday Night Football game. Like, Raiders always continually struggle against Pat. It's a home game. We're under the lights. I think the Chiefs are going to win this one.
Okay. A big win there. Big divisional win. 4-1 on the season. And Hayden, he predicts his first L there.
Okay.
All right, Hayden. All right. And then, so after big divisional win, you are on a short week here, and you play host to. Ooh, this should be a juicy game. The Buffalo Bills. They're coming to KC for a rematch of last year's divisional round. Win or lose, thoughts on this game?
Yeah, this is going to be a barn burner for sure. Like, this is a team that is basically needing to win a Super Bowl this year. Like they're all in on a Super Bowl. They're badly going to want redemption for what was like the best game ever played. Like, from my perspective as a Chiefs fan. They picked up Von Miller to an already really good defense, and like, not to mention like their offense, Josh Allen. Like, any offense led by Josh Allen is going to do some damage. He's a very good player. I definitely think it's going to be a really good game. I see the Bills taking this one though.
Okay, predicting an L there. Hey, no shame in losing to a good team, right? So Hayden agrees with you, thinks it's going to be an L there. And then your travel. Oh, the Ramley's going to be cheering you on again here in week 7. You're traveling to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. Win, lose. What do you think of this game?
Yeah, this is another interesting team just because of their setup at especially QB right now. Like Trey Lance is really going to be looking to prove himself this year. They have a few good pieces on offense. They got like Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, and then every year San Fran just comes out and has a good defense. Like, that's just kind of a given for the team. Like, that's their identity. As for the defense, I think that as good as they are, I think our offense can really take it to these guys, and I think it's going to be a mismatch with their offense because I don't think they're quite there yet, unless Trey Lance just somehow blows up. But I see the Chiefs winning this one.
Okay, giving the Chiefs the W there, and this is a fun comment from Jake about the Bills Chiefs game is that CBS could choose to protect one game, and they chose that game. That makes sense. That is a fun fact. Thank you. And CG saying that CG is a big 49ers fan, content creator, and he's saying Trey looked good yesterday.
Yeah, camp.
Yep. 5-2, and then so that's 5-2 after 7 weeks, and so that brings us to week 8, which is the bye week, which means it is time for
bye week hot takes. The hottest takes on the bye week.
Yes, welcome to Bye Week Hot Takes, the part of the show where we take a little break from predictions and we go over 3 hot takes about the team that we're talking about, taken from all corners of the internet, random comment sections, Twitter spaces, wherever I can find them. And the Kansas City Chiefs are no doubt a often criticized team because they have been, one of the best teams for a number of years now. Even before Mahomes, they were a good team. And I think Mahomes took them into that kind of next level of the superstar quarterback. But so these are a couple of hot takes. Isaac has not seen any of these, so he's going to be reacting raw to them. He's going to tell us what he thinks of them and if he agrees with them or not. So the first one, Kansas City will win the AFC West. They are still top dogs despite the improvements of all the other AFC West teams.
This is just a common sense take, in my opinion. No, you know what? It is going to be a super tough division to win. Like it's the best division in football. Like when you look at like the 4 teams, I still think KC is going to win. I definitely agree with this. They have an aura around them in the division. Like I feel like when teams come in, they know they're playing against the best team. Like obviously, I mentioned familiarity. Like it's. Like you know the other team so well, but I think like Andy Reid, like the amount of times he's played them, like he comes in there and he always has a great game plan. Pat seems to always have his best games against like guys in his own division. Yeah, I totally agree.
Well, and it's so interesting because you got the Raiders who, they get a new coach, but they also get Devontae Adams and some other new pieces. Then you got the Chargers, which seem to be just going all in, and they have Justin Herbert, who's no slump either. Then you got Russell Wilson's. I'm glad he's out of my division into yours, and that's gonna be interesting because I feel like for years the Broncos, everyone said like, oh, if they had a quarterback, they'd be so good. So we'll see. It is. I'm as a football fan, we should be excited for this division race for sure.
Yeah, it's scary.
Patrick Mahomes is not the best quarterback in the NFL anymore.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to call me biased. I'm gonna disagree with that. Just when you look at, he had what was like. I feel like I understand like where this person's coming from. He had what was considered like a down year this past year, which still one of the best. Like statistically one of the best QBs in the league on like a down year. Yeah. I think like when you look at his talent, like it's not something that can be like held back. Like he had the Chiefs in general had a really tough start to the year. They kind of had to battle their way back to even get like a winning record to like get into playoffs. Like they had a point where they were losing record. I mean, you got a lot of good names right now, like Josh Allen. Like he gets better every year. Somehow A-Rod is still really good. Somehow Tom is still really good. I'm a big Justin Herbert guy too. Like since his rookie year, he's so talented. But if I had to start a franchise with anyone right now, it's like still be Pat. He's my guy.
Okay, no, and I'll say this comment was definitely taken from a comment section that was debating Patrick Mahomes versus Herbert versus Allen versus Brady and Rodgers. And it's just like, it's like, I find it interesting though, because regardless of, if you agree with this take or not, Patrick Mahomes is kind of the measuring stick that you measure a lot of other quarterbacks with, right? So, yeah. All right, the third and final take here. This is a fun one. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the Chiefs running back, will not be with Kansas City next year.
It's not out of the realm of possibility for sure. in camp, he has been. We've had 3 guys actually running first team. We've had Clyde. We have had Jerick McKinnon, and we have a rookie we drafted in the 7th round named Isaiah Pacheco. He's also been running first team. One guy who has not been is Ronald Jones, who we traded for, which is really interesting. But no, apparently Jerick McKinnon and Pacheco have been playing very well in camp. And Clyde, obviously, like it's no secret he's underperformed as like a first round pick. Not gonna lie, the guy I wanted at the position he was drafted was Jonathan Taylor. He was my favorite running back in that draft. We're not gonna talk about that. No, I think this is basically a tryout year for all 3 of those guys. Like they can all win the position, and if Clyde underperforms, I could see us not bringing him back for sure.
Well, and I just think, especially teams are criticized now whenever they draft a running back in the first round, that if they're not performing at like a top 10 back level at least. And I think that Clyde, he definitely is. He's not a slump, but maybe you can make the argument that because he maybe got overdrafted a little bit, that there's this expectation on him that he's not meeting. Where if he would have been drafted in like the 3rd or 4th round and he plays like he's been playing, people would be like, "Oh man, he's awesome."
Yeah, that's very true for sure. There's a lot of pressure on him.
Oh, it'll be interesting to see. This has been
Bye Week Hot Takes. The hottest takes on the bye week.
All right, we're going to get back to the prediction here. We are in week 9. Before the bye week, Isaac predicted a 5-7 record to start the season, and then the Chiefs are hosting the Tennessee Titans Sunday Night Football again, prime time. Win, lose, thoughts on this game?
Well, it was a 5-2 record, but
I thought I said 5-2.
I thought you said 5-7, but
oh, my apologies. No, there were 7 games total. Anyway, thank you for grading. 5-2. If anyone was unclear.
No, we got the Titans. They have some strength on either side. Expect this team to be a winning team. They're definitely gonna suffer with the loss of AJ Brown, who's like obviously went to Philly. Andy Reid, however, he almost never loses on a bye week. Like must have like an amazing game plan when he comes out of bye week. We're gonna be well rested. I really just think that the Chiefs are more talented on both sides of the ball, so I think we're gonna win this.
Okay. All right, so that's 6-2 on the year, and then the game everybody's looking forward to. The Kansas City Chiefs welcome in the Jacksonville Jaguars to town, and I see Hayden here. He also is predicting a win versus the Titans? But what's everyone thinking about this game? And do you think that the Jags can potentially pull up an upset here?
I'm really rooting for Trevor Lawrence. I really liked him all throughout college. Really talented guy. Hope to see these guys win a few games this year. Hopefully it's not a repeat of Urban Meyer. Guy's a goof. But I don't think one of those wins are going to be against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
They definitely have a lot to be done on both sides of the ball. I just think the Chiefs are pretty much going to outmatch them every way. So I think we're taking the win.
They're 2 teams at a very different place right now.
Very much, yeah.
Hayden is predicting an L here, but he makes sure that he's just kidding. He thinks he's gonna
okay, that's good. Make sure.
Oh, you're too funny, Hayden. Too funny. Shout out to Hayden who's keeping the chat lively there. We appreciate you, man. So you're 7-2 on the year, and then you go into SoFi Stadium, and you are taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. Your second matchup with them this year. You predicted a win the first time. Are you predicting a sweep of the Chargers?
I think at this point, they're going to be like pretty established. They're going to have a lot of confidence, like tons of talent, obviously, as I mentioned. They would have already seen the Chiefs, and both teams will have made adjustments, improvements. Really complete team. We're going into their stadium. I think that it's gonna be a close game. I think they're taking this one from us.
Okay, so predicting a split there. Okay, all right. So that's 7-3 on the air, and then you welcome. Oh, the game I'm most looking forward to on the Chiefs' schedule, a rematch of potentially the greatest Monday Night Football game in NFL history. You are welcoming in the defending Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams. Thoughts on this game? Win, lose? You know what my prediction is.
Well, I think it's pretty simple. Like it's gonna be a big blowout win. No, I'm just kidding. No, Rams are an awesome team. Like seriously, I just like not only on both sides of the ball are they good. They're good at pretty much every position. Like they're a very complete team. They're awesome. Proven success last year. Obviously, like they're gonna be riding very high, but they're also gonna have a lot to prove coming off a Super Bowl win.
Yep.
Going to be a big time heavyweight bout for sure. I think it'll be really entertaining. We have a history of having entertaining games, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this one will be down to the wire. Like I think it's going to be close. I think Rams are going to win this one though.
Okay, Ramley rejoices, and Hayden agrees with you. It's gonna be a W for the Rams. It's interesting to me. I remember when I first saw the schedule, and I saw that this wasn't a primetime game. I was like, "What is?" And I think Fox protected this game as well. But anyway, it's just interesting because it's like, man, if there's ever a game to put in prime time.
Oh my, yeah, I know.
So then, okay, you got a really interesting part of your next schedule here. You got a 3-game road stint coming up. The first is a trip to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. What do you think?
You know, this AFC Championship rematch.
Yeah.
Chiefs are definitely going to be looking for redemption in this game. Like they're going to want it very bad. Like I don't even want to think about that AFC Championship. They're a good football team, a good young football team. Like obviously offense, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon. Like they're very good. You know, they have a few good pieces on defense. They got like Jesse Bates, great safety. Trey Hendrickson's obviously a beast. I still think they have a couple things to figure out on that defense, but like continually getting better. I think we're really going to be driven to win this game, and I think we are going to win this game.
Okay, and it looks like Hayden is agreeing with you there. So that's your 8th win on the year, 8-4 on your prediction. And then your first divisional matchup with the Denver Broncos, a Sunday night primetime game. You're traveling to Denver to play in Mile High. Thoughts on this game and win-lose?
Yeah, you know, you mentioned like about the Broncos prior to Russell Wilson as like their quarterback away. I've definitely agreed with that. Like for a couple of years, it's like Drew Lock really has been holding them back. Like if I'm being honest, they're set up perfectly for Russell Wilson right now. Good offensive line. They got awesome weapons to complement them. Have had a good defense for years. So they should be definitely a tough team to play against. This team is going to also have a winning record as probably every team in the AFC West. However, I do think the Broncos always, I don't think. The Broncos always struggle to find a way to beat the Chiefs. We beat them in 13 straight games.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of games. When you think about
that's crazy, yeah.
I think streak continues and we win this game.
Okay, wow, that's I knew it was a while, but 13, that is crazy. And I had Brandon Perna from That's Good Sports on my Broncos episode, and I remember him just freaking out about how much disdain he has for the Chiefs because of this thing.
I can't blame him. I mean,
yeah, 9-4 on your prediction. And then your final game of this road trip you've been on, you're traveling to Houston to take on the Texans. Win, lose, any concerns of a trap game?
Yeah, like schedule wise, it can be a tough game, but I mean, you look at this Houston team right now, they're definitely struggling. They got a lot of issues on this team. Like I kind of like Davis Mills, but like I can't say he's like elite, and I can't really see a team led by him competing for a Super Bowl. I really think there's just too many issues on both sides of the ball. You know, they are in a very different place than the Chiefs are. I think this is going to be pretty easy win for the Chiefs.
That's fair. Yeah, it's tough to beat a good team like the Chiefs when you don't really have a core group of talented players you're building your team around, right?
Exactly.
I feel like Houston kind of doesn't really have that right now.
Definitely.
Okay, so that's your 10th win on the year, so 10-4 in your prediction, and Hayden's agreeing with you there. I don't think there's too many people that would pick the Texans and that, but the Rambley's going to be cheering on the Chiefs again here. Week 16, you welcome in the Seattle Seahawks. Win, lose, thoughts on this game?
Yeah, well, I mean, this past off season, the Seahawks pretty much went into full rebuild mode. Like I just mentioned, Drew Lock, and I mean, here he is. Like, I'm almost positive when we play this game, he's gonna have severe PTSD as soon as he sees the Chiefs jerseys, as he's never beaten them.
Yeah.
If he's even the starter at this point, though, is the thing. Like, they're in such a mess that like who even knows what it's gonna look like. I don't think there's too much to say. Hawks are going to be losing football games this year, and I think Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to be taken to him. I think we win this game.
Okay, yeah, I could see this being a game where like Mahomes like stops playing after the third quarter or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so 11-4, and then your final home game of the year. You welcome in for the second time the Denver Broncos. Are you predicting a sweep of the Broncos?
I think the streak continues here. I think this becomes our 15th straight win.
Okay.
It's hard for me to even like visualize anymore the Broncos beating the Chiefs. Like, knock on wood here, but like,
yeah.
Kelsey and Mahomes just like always instinctively have amazing games when they play against the Broncos. And like, I think this is not going to stray from tradition. I think Mahomes has their number. You know, he's already amazing, but he just becomes Superman when he plays against those Broncos. I think Chiefs win.
Okay, yeah, and so Hayden is predicting an L there. He thinks the Broncos get that W there. Sure. You could make the argument that the Broncos are due now that they finally have a capable quarterback.
Yeah, definitely. You could definitely argue that.
All right, so your 11-6 prediction on the year, and then week 18, you are traveling to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. You predicted an L earlier in the year to them. Do you think that you split with the Raiders?
I think I'm 12-4 right now, actually.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong chart. Yes, sorry, my apologies. I have
okay.
On here. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, my apologies. Yes.
No, you're good. I'm just double checking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think this could be a really important game. Like, there are definitely times where, like, if you're in a good enough position, like, you can let a guy rest, like, putting your backups for kind of the last game. This is definitely not going to be one of those games. I think this could have, like, really big implications for, like, your position in playoffs. So I think both teams are going to be really eager to pull this one out. I do think the Chiefs will continue to prove why they are the kings of the AFC West. And I think they're going to, once again, top the Raiders in a potentially important game.
Yeah. I could see this being right now it's a to be determined playtime. And I could see this potentially getting flexed into that final Sunday night spot of the year. That this is like the final regular season game.
Yeah.
And, okay, so you're predicting a 13-4 record for the Chiefs.
13-4.
Very cool. I see Hayden is predicting a 12-5 for the Chiefs.
Pretty
Thank you,
good.
Hayden, for predicting alongside us. A couple of questions from there is who is your favorite Chiefs player right now? Hayden asks.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm okay. I'm not going to say one. It's a difficult question. First of all, I'm going to talk about the rookies. I'm excited for Trent McDuffie and George Karlaftis a lot right now. I think they have potential to like be studs. But if we're talking about like an established player right now, I'm going to avoid Patrick Mahomes just because
it's the easy answer.
It's Pat, right? It's kind of a cop-out answer.
Yeah.
I really like Nick Bolton on defense right now. He's leading our like new linebacker core right now. We have Nick Bolton, Willie Gay, and we also drafted a guy named Leo Chanel out of the draft, who's like number 5 on the board. I'm excited for him. But no, he was an absolute stud last year. He sometimes didn't get like the time that he deserved. He always was a stud. You know, he really led as a younger player on the team. He was like leading them in tackles. He's a guy I'm really excited to see how he develops, especially with like a stronger defense, I believe, this year. So yeah, I'll probably put him right now.
Okay, cool. And then CG asks, he's a 49ers fan. He said, what are the 49ers getting from Charvarius Ward? Is Trent McDuffie going to step up?
Yeah, Charvarius Ward, he is a good cover man. Like, he definitely some games he's quiet, but that really just means that, like, he's covering his guy. Like, they're not challenging him, right? Like, he definitely has had games where he performed really, really well. I think that one of the weak spots that Ward has is penalties. He sometimes did give up more penalties than obviously you'd want. Overall, definitely a solid cornerback. Just needs the discipline, in my opinion. But yeah, overall solid. And McDuffie, I'm super duper excited about this guy. He was on most boards. He was cornerback 3 behind Stingley and Sauce Gardner. He's really just a lockdown. Like, I've done like a ton of research on this guy. He's just like, he's been, without like second guessing anything, he's been playing first team on like all throughout camp. He's been the guy who's consistent. Like we kind of have a question mark in one of the cornerback spots because we got L'Jarius Sneed, McDuffie, and then they're kind of fighting for a third spot. But I definitely think he can be at least to Charvarius Ward's level. He's super fast, a good cover man, a little bit undersized, but I think he makes up for that in like tenacity. But yeah,
okay,
really excited.
Okay. Cool. Well, and I see Hayden's favorite Chiefs player is Kelsey.
Oh, of course, yeah, Trav.
Well, Isaac, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for lending your expertise and your fandom on the Chiefs. And I hope you have a fun season. The Chiefs are always a fun team to watch with Patrick Mahomes and company there, and Andy Reid leading the way in the coaching staff. Anyone who's watching today, thank you so much for tuning in live or on the replay. We have 3 more episodes left. The next one will probably be the Packers, probably looking to do that either tomorrow or Monday night. So stay tuned. Make sure to turn bell notifications on. Friendly reminder about the charity live stream. We're doing an 8-hour charity live stream. We're partnering with World Renew to raise money for food insecurity around the world. We're going to be just hanging out talking football all day Thursday, September 8th. And Isaac, thank you so much again. And stick around. We'll chat afterwards. And we'll see you in the next episode of MOOF.